Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Evans, psychologist at Family Success Consortium. I want to send out a message to people with some basic coping strategies in terms of dealing with the coronavirus situation and helping ourselves get through all the changes and the turmoil that are incumbent with that kind of situation. Dr. John Forsyth at the University of New York in Albany has been an active writer in coping with these situations and coping with anxieties in general. And he has developed 4 basic steps to help deal with these kind of situations. I wanted to review those steps with you. First is accept negative emotions. Secondly, create new routines. Reinvent self-care, and then relate and communicate. So in terms of accepting negative emotions, this is the most difficult circumstance to try to deal with. When we have negative emotions, we oftentimes try to shut those out or squelch those emotions, when in fact, our best response is accepting the negative emotions and realizing what the source of those are. For example, that can be an element of fear and worry. Fears and worries are things that are activating physical responses oftentimes. We might have a rapid heart rate, our GI system might change or shift, and those types of worries and fears can be understood and recognized and accepted. For example, we could say to ourselves, I'm having a lot of fear and worry here. Well, of course I would have fear and worry because this is a scary situation. And so those kind of recognition of those negative emotions as being natural to our circumstance can be really helpful. Secondly is recognizing the thoughts that we're having and what our thought patterns are. For example, we could recognize that we're getting stuck or bogged down into catastrophic thinking. Catastrophizing is one of the things that occurs when we're faced with difficult circumstances. We want to try to anticipate the worst case situation and try to plan for that, but sometimes we can get stuck in that line of thinking. That would be rumination, where we find ourselves repetitively going over and over the same circumstance or the same situation without shifting into our ultimate goal. And our best way to help ourselves is activating our strategic mind. So once we accept negative emotions, then we can have a much better chance at engaging our strategic thinking, our problem solving, and moving through via accepting negative emotions is a very effective way to get to our strategic mind. Once we've accomplished that, then we can go about being creative. Strategic mindedness allows for creativity versus rumination and negativity. So we've moved through that negative emotion. We're trying to create new routines for ourselves. Some of us, our work circumstances have certainly changed. Our daily routines situations have changed. And we're trying to forge together a new routine, a new daily practice and pattern. And creative thinking allows us to do that. And when we're in our strategic mind, we can do that much more effectively. Third is reinventing self-care. So we have to be very active in taking care of ourselves in these kind of times. That means doing a lot of exercise. For many of my patients, one of the things that I've been hearing is that the closing of their gym has been a very difficult circumstance to cope with. Fortunately, many of them have been able to forge new routines in terms of their self-care, being active, finding new ways to get into routines, getting up, getting a shower, even though we're not going out of the house, putting on our daily clothes that we would wear on a weekend, for example, going out for walks, figuring out ways to take care of ourselves and be active in that process, and trying to do that within our newly created routine. And then finally is relate and communicate. So we have to be really diligent and active in terms of communicating to those people that we have contact with, whether that's face-to-face with family members, or whether it's through texting or gaming platforms, whatever way that we're active and communicating and relating is very helpful to get through these kind of difficult circumstances.